Even though I'm a tax attorney, I talk a lot about the government's use of data, AI, and technology algorithms to do any kind of civil or criminal tax enforcement. But we are also seeing that extend to other government agencies, such as Department of Homeland Security and ICE enforcement, right? Now, we all know that data can be used for good purposes and for bad purposes. And while I understand the government needs to use technology and data and algorithms and workflows to help increase, hopefully, on the tax side, customer service, which is generally lacking, we do not want algorithms and AI and data matching to be used to do indiscriminate enforcement where a human being does not able to override the computer or exercise discretion or judgment with proper training. Now, this is because a lot of the algorithms can have unintended consequences, which I'm going to talk about. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up today was about an article that I saw in Tax Notes about how IRS CI, so the Criminal Investigation Division, is now saying this. So, the title of this article is Personnel Losses Drive Criminal Tax Investigators to Technology. And this is written by one of my favorite Tax Notes writers, Nathan Richman. And basically, the article discusses how they've had a significant loss in personnel. However, they have still been able to keep up with tax criminal enforcement due to the use of technology, AI, and probably that deal they made with Palantir. So, this is becoming more and more common at every government agency, and it is how they plan on doing civil and criminal enforcement across agencies. And while I agree they're going to have to update data and algorithms and workflows to do their job effectively, it could also cause significant financial harm in the sense of taxes or actual civil, liberty issues when it comes to immigration. These algorithms are also not perfect. On the tax side, a study done by the Stanford Institution for Economic Policy Research found that the IRS, in looking at its audit algorithm, Black taxpayers were audited at a disproportionately higher rate than other audit groups. And so the algorithm was disproportionately targeting that group of people, even though it wasn't inherently designed to do so. All this to say that using data and algorithms and all of that stuff is probably well within our future. And for people that say, well, I'm not that worried about it, I am, as somebody who deals with the government every single day. A good example is I defend even tax return preparers that get examined for the returns that they prepare on behalf of other taxpayers. I recently just finished this woman's, 2021 audit that I defended her in, where she got 0 penalties assessed against her, but it took us 20 hours and it just concluded in 2024 and actually didn't close her file till 25. So it took a significant amount of time. And then she got a letter saying that she'd been picked up again. They want to look at her tax return she prepared for 2024. And the reason she is getting picked up is because she serves a lower income community that claims the earned income tax credit, which is a refundable credit that many people use to raise themselves out of poverty. And that is how the credit is intended. And so whatever algorithm the government is using shows that maybe my client has a higher number of these types of returns in proportion to other tax return preparers, or maybe she has more refundable credit returns, a higher ratio than other preparers. And that's because she serves a low income area and she doesn't have a diverse client base. So what is the right answer there? Not to help low income people claim the credits that they're legally entitled to claim? No, that's not the right answer. So, I reached out to the agent and was like, hey, we have to do something about this. It's not fair for this algorithm to pick this woman up every few years. When I won her last audit to see if she was doing things correctly or doing the due diligence as required by the IRS, and it resulted in 0 penalties assessed against her. She was doing things correctly. So there's a big danger here when it comes to civil and criminal enforcement, whether it's taxes or immigration or any kind of enforcement. We all have to be vigilant. We have to be able to have humans exercise with their knowledge and expertise, discretion, and be able to override the algorithms or change the algorithms when they're creating unfair outcomes or unjust outcomes. And data is not perfect. if you put bad data in, you get bad data out, and there has to be a way to override it. So this is a scary thing, and it's not something that I enjoy seeing every day in my workplace, but I also am fearful. Again, it's one thing for someone to suffer financial harm, awful, terrible, but it's another thing to deprive somebody of their freedom.